very warm welcome to the brand new edition of To The Point. I'm Kriti Mishra. And on today's show, my guest is Mr. Mohammad Mustafa, Chairman and Managing Director of Small Industries Development Bank of India. Mr. Mustafa, welcome to Hotspot Television and thank you so much for joining us through virtual
Thank-
platform.
Yes. Thank you
First
very much.
things first, how is SIDBI working towards enabling MSME businesses to deal with post-COVID challenges or even the challenges that are existing right now?
See, SIDBI, I started long back. Its focus on digital side of the business. So, in year 2017, actually, we launched a big platform, which is completely automated, completely e-platform, which is known as Udemy Mitra. So, what actually happens that anybody, any MSME, a small borrower wants money, he can go log in there, create his user ID, fill his application, and based on his application, lenders have a look at it, and whoever feels like that he is a good borrower, they pick that application and they take that forward. So that was one thing that we started long back in 2017. So that's very important and very relevant, particularly in the time of COVID. So when we are not able to move things physically. Secondly, you remember in November 2018, one platform was launched by Honorable Prime Minister, PSP loans in 59 minutes. So that was also initiative and conceived at SIDBI. Obviously, we got inspiration from Honorable Prime Minister and others. Uh, so that was another important step in the MSME business in India because that changed the rules of the game. Because for the first time it was happening that the entire appraisal process was active. But Udemy Mitra was a portal where you were leaving the application and somebody was looking at it later. And then it was actually lot more dependent on the lender and his own behavior. On the other side, PSB Loans in 59 minutes is a platform which actually ensures that your application is processed while you are sitting on the computer. And we call it 59 minutes, but actually it doesn't take more than 30 minutes to process an application. Your application based on your overall credit profile is actually matched with the lending practices and policies of different banks, and then all of them are graded and presented before you as a choice. You can make a call, I want to take from him. So that was another thing that we did. That's very, very important. Apart from it, if you look at our other businesses, in our we were primarily a refinance institution, but we have a direct portfolio also. Within that direct portfolio, we've been focusing on digital. Like on our direct portfolio, you can launch a digital application now. We started 1.5 years ago. Then we have a Prayas loan, which is basically given to loans below 1 lakh of rupees for very, very small borrowers. It comes at a very, very consistent. It's not a profit making. We actually incur loss on it, but SIDBI has been promoting this activity of small lending through different kind of institutions. So there, that is completely automated. We haven't kept any paper process at all. So that is one thing. If you look at our guarantee companies, which are also very, very endemic, and you can call it, they are very, very important in the whole MSME ecosystem, they're all paperless.
Absolutely, those are important points that you mentioned. But talking about something more recent that has happened, SIDBI has set up the Swavlamban Crisis Response Fund. What will that mean for the MSMEs in India?
So for that, that's very important point. See, Reserve Bank came out with a paper 2 years ago on trades. Then they created a policy, made a policy. So what is trades actually? Trades is a platform on which both MSME sellers and buyers, they both are present on that platform. And because there is a provision in the MSME ED Act that if a MSME supplies you something, you have to make payment in 45 days. Right. So now what happens? So during that 45 days, what will happen? Suppose MSME needs money next day. So that way, what happens that the moment they supply and the moment it is acknowledged by a borrower, by the what you call the purchaser, by the buyer, yes, I have bought it, he has supplied it to me, that receipt is available for auction. And all the institutions compete and give whatever the best rate he gets, he can get that opportunity. So what has been happening, that different platforms, there are three platforms actually in the country. One is RxIL, which is promoted by SIDBI. Then there is another platform, M1, that is also indirectly promoted by SIDBI. And there is another platform, A-Trades, that is actually promoted by Axis Bank. Now, all of them been charging money for onboarding of MSMEs also, right? So it was ranging from 2,500 to 5,000. So what we have done is created a fund. We have made an arrangement with all these three exchanges under which any MSME can board these platforms without paying any fee till 30th September. Whatever the expenditure will be there, that will be borne by SIDBI through Swawalamban, this response fund, crisis responsive fund.
Those are laudable endeavors, Mr. Mustafa, but the moot question remains, how are you creating awareness and inducing the MSMEs to leverage these gains?
See, it's very important that we have a presence. We presence across the country. We have got various tie-ups. We come out with various kind of what you call it. So we come out with data products. Then we come out with different kind of ads. Then we have got audio visual ads. Then we have got a whole YouTube presence. And in many ways we've been completely engaged with the MSME, and we can reach out to them immediately. And that is one. Secondly, if you see the outreach programs that we are doing with different states are also very important, because we are continuously in touch with state governments. We keep on talking to them. We keep on engaging with them. So whatever happens, if something happens, that knowledge is immediately passed on to them. And to take it further, in fact, we want to formalize it. Now we are entering into a formal arrangement with the state governments, whereby we will create a small office there in those secretariats, and that their only job will be to propagate all these schemes which are started by central government and different institutions which are for the benefit of MSME.
Absolutely, but it's the different era that we're living in. We understand the government has taken several steps to strengthen the MSME ecosystem in India. But do you think that MSMEs will need massive restructuring once the moratorium period is over?
See, after moratorium, I think it will be very presumptuous to say that they will need massive restructuring. So we'll have to see how do these businesses survive, how do they cope up with it. Because to mitigate their difficulties, government is taking a lot of steps. You must have heard about emergency credit line guarantee scheme. So it's actually game changer scheme, where what happens that loan is actually pre-approved and guaranteed by the central government. The borrower has to choose that I don't want this loan. And if you see, because it's 100% guaranteed by Government of India, the loan rates are around 9.5%, 9.25% for banks, and around 14% for NBFC. But if you look at the average rate of interest that is coming, I was just looking at it, it's almost 8%. So it's a completely a new thing that has happened. So emergency credit line is actually going to give them a lot of soothing, and they will have a happy sale through. So what will actually happen after these businesses? What will actually happen after the moratorium? I think this is all presumption, which is at this point of time. And once we assess their health, what happens, only then I think we can make a sweeping statement like this.
I agree to this that these are all presumptions and we are just going through an uncharted territory. We'll really have to wait and watch and see what happens. But talking
Yes.
about another important aspect, SIDBI has been engaged as an implementation agency to give special microcredit facility to street vendors. How will you ensure that there is effective implementation of this very important scheme?
See, this is very important, because this is scheme, any loan which is given to what you call smaller borrowers, particularly at this level of SECI loans below around 10,000, it's very challenging. And I agree that we are very fortunate to be part of it, and we are actually helping Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs to through different kind of interventions that are needed. We are making them a platform where we are ensuring digitized onboarding. We are tracking. They can track the application, the e training tools, then follow up e applications. So we'll in real time they will know what has happened, who has applied, where is the application, and if it is happening, it is happening. If it is not happening, why is it not happening? Then there can be a good, strong monitoring. And we are also creating an app for them. So it's actually going to be what you call very, very satisfying and very, very exciting exercise for SIDBI, because loans to smaller borrowers are actually a very, very important part of our policy.
Right, but moving ahead, we've always heard, and you've also advocated this thing that there should be all in one hub for everything that a small business needs. You are in the process of developing one. What will it offer? How will it look like?
See, I think this is a need that we have felt for a very long time. And there are two things that we're going to do. See, obviously, one I spoke about Udyami Mitra portal, which is actually for your financing need and for maybe your hand-holding support need. So that is one part. Secondly, we are now in the process of launching, maybe another week or so, we'll be launching a platform known as MSME Saksham portal. So this portal is very different, under which what MSMEs are going to be there. They will know about every scheme that is there in the government sector, whether in central government or state government, or and suppose they decide to they want to set up a business. What information do they need if they want to set up a say pharma business? Suppose they want to do a particular case, so they will give them complete tools so that they can take a decision. If I want to this business, where should I go? How much should I spend? How much should I invest? What will be my cost? So these are all the tools that we're working on, and this is already actually I think we'll launch in a week or so. Apart from it, we have collaborated with CIBIL for this. So outcome of that is that on the one hand, new businesses will have these tools. On the other hand, if some business has been working and they have not taken any loan so far, and they want to take a loan, so if a commercial report is taken from CIBIL, it comes at a whooping cost of 10,000 rupees. If you want your commercial CMR, so now that report is going to be free. So any MSME, if they want to take out their ranking, and if their ranking is good, they can take out that certificate, go and bargain with the bankers, because if the rating is good, they can say, I will not give more interest than, because now they know what is their CIBIL ranking.
Right. But I've been covering other programs that SIDBI has been implementing, and of course, we also met a lot of beneficiaries under Startup India, under Stand Up India. But Mr. Mustafa, if today a person who quits his job or otherwise wants to start a business and just talking about it at the micro level, what has SIDBI got to offer to that person?
See, giving a loan to a new enterprise has always been a challenging task. Banks have different schemes for the new businesses. We run a very, very big guarantee program known as Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, which has now got guarantees worth more than a trillion rupees, more than 1 lakh crore now. So that is one tool, one platform available which bankers can use to give loans to new people, where the loan is actually 75% guaranteed by SIDBI for a fee. But this is all back end. The back end in the sense, but ultimately the borrower is dependent on the bank, right?
Right.
He has to take the guarantee. Now I want to change this also. So what I'm going to do, I think we've been working for a while, say around a year or so, and we are examining as to how to go about it. We have developed the system, and maybe another month or so, we launch a system under which a new person who has no background can come on this. We are creating a portal named as Udaan portal. So here he can come, he can enter his details, he can avail the guarantee in advance from CGTMSE, and when he is eligible for guarantee, then we are integrating all the banks in the background. He will also run through the same process, and he will get the same choices as you have got in online PSB loans in 59 minutes.
That's fantastic. So, in within a month, we'll see Udan in the public domain.
Yeah, it will be there in the months, right? Yes.
All right, so that takes me to my next question, which is about the startups. So, the startups across the country are facing cash flow issues leading to layoffs and cost cutting. Of course, that is not something new to India. Worldwide, there's massive economic disruption. But SIDBI has also introduced a financial assistance scheme called the COVID 19 Startup Assistance Scheme to ease the liquidity issues faced by the startups across India. How has been the response so far?
Yeah, you are right. Actually, we realized that this problem long back, and we launched a scheme in April itself, which is known as SIDBI COVID CSAS. It is called COVID Affected SIDBI Startup Assistance Scheme. So, where what we have done is we have targeted those startups which are significant in revenue, which have got sizable number of employees as part of their staff. So there we wanted to help them, and that we brought at a very competitive rate. Startup loan is very different from other kind of loan. There is hardly any security because it's most of is what you call IPR based, or maybe the processes are there. Then no physical property to lay your hands on. So there the loans, if you see the private sector approach there, if you see the NBFC that do those kind of loans, they charge more than 20% actually.
Right.
So I wanted to break that and to make available that money. We started this scheme up, COVID affected startup assistance scheme. I think the response has been good. We have got 200 queries and of the around 35 applications have been sanctioned so far. But it is moving. So this is a window available for any significant startup, which is important. They can come and avail this.
You're making a very legit point there, Mr. Mustafa, but risk aversion by banks that continues to pose the biggest obstacle to bank lending, more so in circumstances when defaults are most likely. There are massive economic disruptions around. What can the government and RBI do to give more confidence to prod them to lend and take risk?
The government, RBI have been doing so many things to help that. So I think first to understand what is a banking business. So see, if you think banks have this choice not to lend, so it can't go for long because their liability is getting created because they have depositors' money on which they have to pay, right? So bank is basically in intermediation business. They take money from somebody and they give it to somebody. So that's how they earn, and that's how these dots are connected. So they have no choice. Ultimately, sooner or later, it's no choice for a bank that they cannot lend at all. They may choose their clients very differently, but not lending is not a choice with a bank at all. Now coming to risk aversion, obviously after COVID, they have been what you call a little conservative. They were not very forthcoming. So to resolve that problem, if you see this ECLGS was actually launched in that background only, so that every MSME which is in the need of money and we covered loans up to 25 crores in this, any outstanding loans up to 25. So all of them became eligible, and these loans are 100% guaranteed by bank. So if you see, I mean, there's significant progress in this scheme, and we see that it's going to be actually very big intervention that the government has taken, and it's going to yield very good results in the near future itself.
Absolutely, we keep our fingers crossed for those results. But talking about another aspect, which is Prime Minister's call for Atmanirbhar Bharat. How can we be self-reliant and be an India which is seen exporting to the world at the same time meeting all our demands as well?
See, I think this call is very important, particularly after what we saw this post-COVID, what happened to supply chains, etc. So actually, it's very important that we actually focus on key supplies and become what you call become Atmanirbhar. It's very important. So, and that how it happens. MSME has a big role there in all this. So what we are going to do, actually, the various steps that we've taken so far, we're just going to put them together and make it a little more aggressive, and we are aligning it more towards Atmanirbhar, and we are introducing packages, introducing different kind of interventions that will speed up the process of MSME setting businesses, starting these things quickly. So that is one. Second, one thing I would like to point out to you. See, we actually have been running for quite some time a scheme known as Swavalamban Connect Kendra, under which what actually happens is that we come out with a number on particular days in a month in a particular district. So what happens? The person gives a missed call, and after that he leaves the call. Then what happens? SIDBI has an arrangement with a Bangalore-based startup under which that call is followed up by a network NGO. We have created a network of NGOs across the 5 states where we're implementing. They will call to him and they will find out. They will profile him. They will understand what does he want. He wants to set up a business. Does he need training? So they will take him to training. And that is all without cost. Without cost. He doesn't have to do anything. And then he has to create a report. The agency ensures that his project report is created. We also ensure that the report goes to banks. And we also ensure that the loan is sanctioned. So this is a very unique intervention that we've made. But actually, since it's a smaller scale, it's been basically experimental so far. Now we want to increase it, particularly in the background that so many people have returned to their homes. They have gone back. Many of them, particularly those who may be interested in setting up their local businesses, so they will stand up. We will speed up the process. Particularly, it's already working in UP, it's already working in Bihar, it's already working in Jharkhand. So we are going to speed up the process and see that at least for those who have returned, this is actually available. And we are creating a network of dealers also, newer opportunities also, so that that part of local district supply chain, they also become part of it. So from that, so on the one side, we want to speed up the process. We want to support the MSME in whatever we can. And then obviously this intervention of Swavalamban Connect Kendra, this is also one step I believe is very, very important in this whole campaign of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Absolutely. And Mr. Mustafa, before I end this show, I've been asking this question to a lot of experts that I've been interviewing off late. How do you view the post-corona world, the paradigm changes, and how do we need to reorient ourselves?
See, it's very, very important to understand that the corona has changed everything. The way we do business, the way we live actually, the way we meet our friends. Everything is changing post-corona. Till we come out with what you call regular medicine or maybe vaccine which may be available sooner, I hope so, by the end of the year. Till then, obviously, we have to cope up with this, obviously, but we cannot stop. We have to move. So we have to take precautions and move. And obviously, the focus on digital has to be more and more. Now, as I understand, since April, all our meetings are only through Microsoft Teams, Skype, or through other modes. So it has been actually working. And we realize actually these instruments, these platforms are actually far more productive. Actually, they give you a lot more opportunities than actually we can do in a manual meeting at all.
Right, absolutely. Point well taken. And
Yeah.
we hope that we learn to live with this and a new normal, we get accustomed to that.
Yeah.
But Mr. Mustafa, you joined us through this virtual platform, gave us those important details, and of course, we look forward to the launch of the Udan portal. Thank you so much for joining and speaking
Thank
to
you.
Sabha Television.